follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm riding this. This is the KTM RC 390, the new one, which is identical to the KTM RC 200. Nothing has changed really. Only thing is slight changes here and there to differentiate both the models, because obviously you're going to be paying a lot more for this motorcycle. So the color scheme is actually beautiful. I love this whole blue effect which has been done, so that's fantastic. The engine is obviously bigger. The front suspension is also different because export models get adjustability, but our models which we get in India do not get that. And plus you can actually reduce the height of the handlebar by 14.5 mm for a more aggressive riding position. The rear brake disc size is bigger by around 50 mm, 280 mm here, 230 mm in the regular KTM RC 200. And yeah, that's about it. Everything else is the same on this motorcycle. It looks way better in person, not so much in photos. And there you can see the way the front disc has been mounted is kind of unique as well. And there's a reflector here. It says WB Apex, which is something unique to this motorcycle. Large windscreen, more aerodynamic, heavier motorcycle. Upswept exhaust, says KTM. Better electronics. Lot of upgrades here and there from the rear. You can see it looks quite nice. Obviously trellis frame, all LED setup and the likes. That is the instrument cluster of this motorcycle. Let's turn on the bike. And there you can see it makes some sound. It says ready to race. And this again we have seen on a lot of other KTM motorcycles. Very easy to use with these buttons. So if I press this down, there I can get into trip 2. And then I can get into back very easily. I can get into set, get into motorcycle, get into KTM My Ride, which lets me pair my phone for audio system, and then I can operate from here. So kind of an easy to use system. And then obviously it's got a proximity sensor, so it becomes darker at night. So I think if I keep my hand here, it should hopefully, there it becomes black. That's kind of cool. We get out of here. So yeah, very nice and easy to use cluster. But an analog tachometer is always something I love, something which we do not even get with the first generation motorcycle. So I should not really be complaining about that. Anyways, here you can get into trip data, settings and all. So everything is here, nice and easy to use. Okay, one touch starter here. There it rose to life. How easy was that? This is obviously the control for the headlight adjustment. This is for the indicator, and this is the horn. Oh my god, that is loud. And adjustable levers, both the levers are actually adjustable. Fit finish levels are good, but they could have been better. Slight amount of panel gaps here and there. And as soon as I turn on the motorcycle, you can hear and see the vibrations. This panel is actually moving all over the place. So yeah, build quality could be a lot better, but then single cylinder engine, what do you expect? Says KTM here, which is kind of nice. 13.7 liter fuel tank, so it's practical. Seats seem comfortable. This is the grab rail. Yeah, it's kind of comfortable. It says RC here, but the pillion is actually sitting on the first floor, so I has to be a bit careful. But even if you accelerate hard, that punch is gone from this motorcycle. No longer there. There you can see the indicator functioning at the moment. The lights, well, I'm just going to change the mode of the lights, and there you can see, yep, yeah. All right, it says KTM on the inside. Let's do one thing. Let's start riding right away. Before that, let me rev the nuts out. I kid you not. Check this out, okay? Yeah, it does vibrate quite a bit. All right, we're all set to go, which means turning on the motorcycle, and yeah, immediately starts and off we go. Let me tell you, first and foremost, the bike actually feels bigger than before. That's kind of surprising. And obviously the height has also seemed to improve. It doesn't feel that compact like it was earlier. Weight has also gone up by 8 kgs. Now this one weighs 172 kgs, but you don't feel that additional 8 kgs as such. But what you feel is that the suspension becomes softer. Now the least amount of changes have happened to the engine. Yeah, the engine has the least amount of changes. That's the reason why I think you can feel the old engine here. A lot of vibrations, and especially at the pegs you can feel it, at the handlebar you can feel it, on the fairing you can feel it. So you can feel all that almost everywhere. Performance will become much more linear. This is a 373.2cc engine. Well, we know, this engine is absolutely fantastic, but this engine has been on duty since 9 years now. So it was time for KTM to make some changes, at least to make it more interesting. Power has gone up, not really, it's the same. 43.4, sorry, what am I saying? 43.5 horsepower is the power from this motorcycle. The torque has gone up by 1 Newton meters to 37 Newton meters because of a bigger airbox here, and everything else is the same. Exhaust sounds a bit mellow here, not as aggressive. I can feel some vibes on the seat as well. The dog could hear the vibes, so he was like barking. Honestly, the character of the KTM RC series has completely gone. The newer KTM bikes, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to be a jack of all trades, which makes no sense. Why is the RC390 trying to do things which the KTM Adventure should be doing? No clue. But yeah, that's the direction in which KTM has gone now, and that's kind of very disappointing because it doesn't feel that hard-edged. Yeah, it's more practical, it's more usable and all that stuff. But if I want to buy a practical motorcycle, maybe I will get the 390 Adventure now. Why would I get the RC390? Makes no sense. Braking performance is slightly better than before, not revolutionary, but yeah, brakes are good. And then there's some electronics which have been added to this motorcycle. Into first gear and off we go. Yeah, it does pull nicely like before, so obviously the engine is quite a puller. I don't know if that's the right word, but honestly the problem is now it doesn't have the level of flickability it had earlier. So things have gone soft in terms of the suspension, in terms of the engine aggression. The engine is much more linear now. In the earlier KTM RC390, I would be shouting my lungs out right now, telling you, oh my god, I'm so scared and I'm frightened, and my god, the bike will flip with that level of, you know, pushing the seat while acceleration. Here none of that. There's no kick in the pants feel. Everything is so linear and smoothened out. There are no flat spots. It's just like very refined, but still not refined enough because of the vibrations, because obviously single cylinder engines will obviously vibrate a lot. So kind of confuses me, what is this bike trying to achieve? Yeah, I know it still handles beautifully well, it's still nimble enough, it's very good on the track, but you know what, they've kind of ruined the grip at the rear, because they've actually gone to H-rated tires from W-rated tires in the interest of saving costs. And if you're looking to go on the track frequently, well, maybe you should change your tires. Otherwise, they are fine for road use as such. Now, a lot of electronics have been added. It gets the IMU, which means cornering ABS is here on this motorcycle. And obviously, the regular ABS can be turned off only at the rear, known as the supermoto mode, for some sliding action as well. And then it has got a bi-directional quick shifter too, which works decently well, I would say. So a lot of tech has been added. They had to do it. They were under pressure because the TVS Apache RR 310 and the TVS Apache RR 310 with the BMW logo also has similar tech now. Quite a lot of it, and it's slightly cheaper and all that. But hey, it doesn't have the level of performance which the KTM has. And that's one area where this bike is still unmatched, the performance and the handling. The handling is not bad at all. It's actually very, 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 very good indeed. Just doesn't feel as raw and hard-edged as before. So unnecessary things have been smoothened out, and all this has also resulted in the price increasing by around 40,000 rupees. So this one costs 3.82 lakhs, which is fine considering all the tech and the electronics and stuff you get. But a bike is all about the engine and the character, and this bike's character is gone for a toss. Top speed is 175 kilometers per hour, around 4-5 kilometers more when compared to earlier, which is kind of good. But you know what, after 120 kilometers per hour, it doesn't have the same pull as the older motorcycle, the older RC390 or the pre-BS6 motorcycle. So BS4 motorcycles and the BS3 ones were just so much better in terms of acceleration and fun, which has gone for a toss in the quest to save the environment. If you want to save the environment, you should probably be driving a force to fun, because more people can sit in, so overall emission per person would be much lower as well. Fuel efficiency is around 20 to 25 kilometers per liter, and with a bigger tank obviously it's going to go longer per full tank of fuel. 13.7 liters the size of the full tank, and the riding posture is also quite nice. Ergonomics seems sorted. So here I'm not like going like this to ride the motorcycle. I'm like almost, you know, upright, slightly forward, but not uncomfortable at all. So longer journeys can be undertaken on this motorcycle without any hassle whatsoever. But you know what, like, you can obviously drop the handlebar by 14.5 mm for a more aggressive riding posture if you plan to go to the track. And when you plan to go to the track, please also change the tires of this motorcycle, because honestly this one needs more grip, and the traction control system is also a little iffy. I think they'll get to, you know, programming it better over time, because it just doesn't intervene when it should. And then the ride is actually very good. Surprising to say that on a KTM RC390, a motorcycle which would make you feel so uncomfortable that you will actually sit on a sofa or a pillow at home, because you just feeling uneasy from the ride. But you know, the ride would be so amazing that you cannot complain about it at all. I mean, your ride, your journey, the handling feel, all that just next level on the older motorcycle. I think I should go and buy an old one, because this one just doesn't feel that connected to me. It just feels too smooth, too refined for its own good, which it shouldn't be. Now mirrors offer okay views because I can see my hand, wrist and my jacket as well. So that's kind of a bummer. Yeah, they've not really worked on the mirrors that properly to ensure that you can see a good view of what's behind. And then obviously this windscreen does a better job of, you know, reducing wind blast. Only thing is you have to lie down completely like this, and then only, you know, it will help you to curtail wind. And obviously because of the kind of speed this motorcycle can do, wind blast is a given. Here, downshift, and I wish it sounded better, and I wish the vibrations were lesser, and I wish it had a twin-cylinder engine, and I wish so many things. But I don't know, KTM is like, you know, let us offer motorcycles which appeal to everybody. So the 390 Duke and the 390 Adventure and the RC 390, all of them are aiming for the same audience, a person who wants it everything, or wants a comfortable, nice, good handling motorcycle and all that stuff. Because the RC 390 has no business of being so comfortable on this road or in any road. It is all about track riding, or probably if some people have the guts and the enthusiasm to ride this daily, they should get the punishment for the same, which is a sore back and pain in the shoulders. None of that happens on the new motorcycle. It's just too good for its own good. And the gearbox is okay, decent, slick shifting indeed, and the clutch is well weighed as well. And there the fan is always so aggressive. Okay, now we're going to take a U-turn, and it's effortless to say the least, like effortless. And then you're like, okay, let's accelerate, and yeah, it doesn't like make me shout. Red line comes in around 10,000 RPM, still revs fast enough, but doesn't really make you feel or question the what are you doing with your life. And then these two jokers are doing I don't know what right now. This is a motorcycle which will not really suit short riders because the seat height is considerably high, which means that you're actually sitting on the first floor, even at the front. The rear guy is to sitting on the terrace only. Anyways, we're just going to come to a halt ahead and launch this motorcycle as aggressively as possible, and let's see how does it go in each and every possible gear. Driving the motor, and off we go. Okay, now I'm not going to use the clutch here. First gear, it does 54. Yeah, in second it does 78, and yeah, in third I can actually sleep while doing this. In third it does 102. Yeah, I can actually sleep while doing this because this motorcycle kind of doesn't feel scary enough, doesn't feel frantic, just feels so mellowed down right now, trying to appeal to everybody, but it's not going to appeal to the hardcore KTM enthusiasts who love the RC for scaring them silly every time they got into the throttle. This motorcycle doesn't do that. And the thing is, in its quest to become more usable, smooth and refined, it still misses out because the vibrations are crazy. Yeah, like the kind of vibes I'm getting on my butts is like insane, and then on my thighs, everywhere, handlebar. So they really need to work on the engine. They were like, अच्छा एक काम करते हैं, engine बहुत बेहतरीन है, छोड़ दो उसको, छोड़ दो, बाकी सब कर लेते हैं. This wasn't needed at all. So guys, this is my vlog of the KTM RC 390. I am honestly very disappointed on the lack of feel and the lack of soul of this motorcycle, and I just don't understand why people are trying to make motorcycles more of a commodity. And on that disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If it was the old RC 390, I would be like so enthusiastic of like, you know, making a quick overtake and all. Now I'm like, हाँ, okay, हो गया, चलो, bye.